Hello, my children. I wanted to announce a few things before we get into the video. Number one, we now have a new channel emblem. I contacted an artist and I had them draw it up for me. So if you noticed the profile picture for the channel change, that's why. I will be linking their Twitter and well any socials that they have. Go support them; they're awesome. Um, anyway, I wanted to get into I was sitting there and thinking to myself, like, oh, what verses can we have again? Since I like doing them, and they seem to do all right on here. And I wanted to sit there and I was sitting there and thinking, like, oh, what do I compare? And I was looking through all my games, and I found two, and that is Space Marines 2 versus Helldivers 2. And you might be thinking, why the hell are they being compared? Easily, I remember when Helldivers 2 was out, and it was like everyone was playing it, and Space Marines 2 got announced. Everyone was like, "Oh, this is the Helldivers killer," and I didn't believe it, but it probably did give to the decline of Helldivers. But Helldivers and Space Marines 2 still has a decent community behind both of them. I wouldn't say that one replaced the other because they're unique, but also able to be compared enough to where it's not so far of a reach to compare them. So I wanted to compare some about 7 points real quick. I'll have gameplay up that my editor will hopefully be putting up because one I captured with him and then the other I didn't. I want to get into the first one. This one is kind of an easy one to blow through. Story is easy to discuss because Helldivers 2 isn't all that deep, and the reason I say it is because it's mainly just about like what do you call it? Like almost like parodying American nationalism, where it's like, and that's fine if you don't like that, whatever. But I think it's funny because it's like everything, like life, love, liberty, all the way to 100, basically for everything. There's a current plot line going on with the president and stuff where he died and all that, and Space Marines 2 takes it out of the park because there's nothing more badass than Space Marines, because Space Marines is basically just, hey, what if we gave, like, I don't know, a college football team like I don't know, like 7 tabs of acid and 12 joints, and then just had them collectively come up with a D&D inspired campaign. That's basically what it'd be. It'd be like these dudes with big buff muscles and chainsaw swords. Like, it's everything that like dudes think of, or even most people think of. Like, it's like Master Chief riding a shark into a tornado, like that type of stuff. But even then, the story of just Space Marines is cool, and I think his name's Thaddeus is the main character. Um, but yeah, his whole story is better than what's going on in Space Marines because it's more deep, and I like it. Gameplay, um, the gameplay of them, the controls are completely different because one is more like mobile, and the other one is more about being like an armored tank on the move. And in my opinion, what I prefer is also story goes to Space Marines. What I prefer in gameplay between them is I will say the one thing that bothers me is they both get repetitive after a moment, but you can switch it up by putting on music with friends or playing with different people or just doing different stuff, like equipping different stuff for your characters. But we'll get into that later. Oh, that'll be the next point, character customization. Or, yeah. Um, but yeah, gameplay, I'm going to be honest, it's probably Helldivers because there's so many ways you can switch up the gameplay that make it a little bit more unique and more fun each time. And Space Marines, yeah, you can switch it up, but mainly it's always big brute with either sword or gun, killing thing. And there's not a whole lot of variety when it comes to the gameplay. I will say, the gameplay is pretty good on both sides, and I would give it to Helldivers gameplay because you're a lot more mobile, and you're able to do a lot more stuff, and you're able to like call in shit from the sky and like blow up your friends. It's amazing. Character customization. I wanted to talk about this too because both have a lot of character customization. And I'm gonna be honest, I think it's not Helldivers. I think it's Space Marines. Granted, the one thing I would knock against Space Marines is there's a lot of stuff behind paywalls. Same thing with Helldivers, though. And you do have to unlock them. You have to unlock both. So either way, you're not just getting. I kind of prefer where it's like, oh, you don't get everything at the same time. You have to earn it over gameplay, which some people thought was stupid. Or think is stupid. I think, you know what? It's whatever. They got to get their money, and it gives me more gameplay time, so I'm good with it. But you can change your factions and stuff, and your own unique look in Space Marines. You can add chains to your arm. You can even make one arm a skeleton hand, basically. And the only thing I don't like is like some of them will be locked behind classes, but I get it. It gives you more innovation. It gives you more motivation to go out and play those classes, so that way you can try out the new armor or the new, like, get your own new look with it. So I like that. And Helldivers is good, but it ain't like that different. Like I was gonna give it the voice thing, but they both have different voices you can choose. And I'm not gonna lie, I usually just let default one play, so I'm always hearing Spider-Man in my ear, but it's funny. And I will say the outfits are snazzy in Helldivers. The one I currently have equipped in the gameplay, if it shows, is very fucking snazzy. I love that one. So again, Space Marines. Class options. I'm gonna be honest. In terms of variety, like a class as in just loadouts, basically, in Helldivers, and then class in Space Marines, it goes to Helldivers because Helldivers, it feels like you can do more, man. Like, you're not limited by I don't know, like you can choose shotguns, rifles. You can then choose your secondary, which can be a sword. You can then make it a pistol, and it feels like they're all uniquely different. Like you can have energy weapons. Same thing with Space Marines. You can have energy weapons. You can have actual bullet guns, but I don't know. I feel like there's more uniqueness in making a Space Marines like class, because you're not like, for example, a bulwark, which is what I play, I think is what it's called. They mainly focus on swords, and then you've got the assault, which is mainly focused on like machine guns. Well, it would be nice if I could equip a machine gun to my bulwark for my secondary, but you can't, and that sucks. But I understand, because in lore, it kind of has to stick with that. But still, Helldivers is better in class options and customization of your loadouts and stuff like that. But yeah, Helldivers takes this one and runs with it. They're tied at the moment. Let's see if they can keep this up with the next one. Enemies. I wanted to talk about this because, and I'm only going to cover, even then, I'll say this. I think Helldivers runs away with it, because my problem with Space Marines is the fucking other like Space Marine faction. I can't think of the name of them, like Chaos Troopers or something, or Chaos whatever. They're like the Egyptian inspired ones almost. Those ones I have a problem with because they're not fun to go against. That, in my opinion, they feel really, really, really hard to even like progress against. It feels like you're always hitting a wall with your fist. Because then like, and the bosses for them, holy fuck, dude. They are like, you might as well just dip your hands in acid and play with whatever comes out, dude. Because sometimes it's just like, well, alright, if he chooses you, you have to do 75 consecutive rules to try and get away from him. If he catches you, he will dip you in mustard and fuck you in the ass. And it's like, oh. And then like, Helldivers is better because, first of all, it's kind of unfair because it has more variety of like enemies to go against, and none of them I ever go against and go, man, this kind of sucks. I'm going against this guy. So yeah, and sorry I'm rubbing my leg. I just noticed that it's just like a nervous tick. Um, but it has to go. It has to go to Helldivers for the sheer variety of just shit. Like there's so much stuff. Um, but yeah, multiplayer. These games, in my opinion, kind of rely on multiplayer. Space Marines, because if you do a solo Space Marines thing, like all the side modes, you're basically just like running into a fire and like with firecrackers in your hand and hoping they don't go off. Like it's gonna happen. You're gonna lose. In my experience, and I'm a max level bulwark. But yeah, I feel like in terms of multiplayer, I'd almost say you get your bang for your buck with multiplayer on Space Marines, because the multiplayer in Helldivers is good and all, but I don't know. There isn't a variety of things you can do with your friends on it. It's mainly just, okay, let's go down here, destroy some shit, or like, let's raise a flag. It's not much different. It's always kill the enemy, progress, do the thing, then leave. Like, and then in Space Marines, it's deal with waves upon waves on one game mode, and then the other one is complete objective with friends. But yeah, it's fun. It's amazing. In my opinion, they're both fun and amazing games. Like the sheer chaos, and you can control the difficulty of them to where it's like a little bit more challenging for you and your friends. So that way you can like have more of a challenge, because like higher difficulty on Space Marines means better rewards, and on Helldivers higher difficulty means, I think, better rewards, or at least more XP, or at least torturing your friends. So both are fun, and I'm gonna give this to Space Marines based on the fact that you have like 3 different game modes to play, because you also have regular multiplayer where it's like player versus team versus team. So yeah, and then we've got replayability. This is where Helldivers takes it and wins the fucking race, baby, because there is like a lot of planets, like a lot of planets. The problem with Space Marines is you have like, yeah, you have all these levels, but the problem with these levels is they're the same thing over and over. The only thing that changes them is the difficulty, and the problem with the difficulty is it doesn't change the map, and I feel like it's making me bored. I'm bored, so give me something different. But I'm sure they'll get more down the road, but it doesn't feel like it's the same amount of bang for your buck with these games. And in my opinion, when you buy a $60 to $70 game, you should get a return on investment. I think I got Space Marines for like $40, so I got a fucking hell of a deal. Let me just say that. And it was still relatively new. But yeah, you get like, in my opinion, leaps and bounds more shit, like more planets and levels to do on Space Marines than you do, Helldivers than you do Space Marines. So in my opinion, this is where it comes down to it. Space Marines loses, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Space Marines 3, Helldivers 4, baby. Thank you guys for watching. I'm really excited to do more videos like this. Let me know if there's any games you guys would like to see me compare. Anything. Try and make them like somewhat in the same ballpark, because these are both horde shooters, and I would like to keep them in some way of like the same thing. I thought of comparing Halo and Gears, so that way, because both are kind of like the shooters of Xbox, and I wanted to see which one is objectively, in my opinion, better. And if you guys believe it should go one way or the other, or if you feel like I should have added a few more topics, let me know. And if you do, let me know what topics, let me know where you would have put things. I'll try to respond to your comments below. If you see my other videos, I do that quite often. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Check out the artist's Twitter or TikTok or whatever I put down there. And have a good one. Love y'all. Bye.